iPad and pulled up the YouTube, you'll be able to see all the comments. You can go on each one of our feeds.
Yeah, Jay, let me know when you're
No,
live.
it's okay. Just in case.
There it is.
Yeah. Let the room fill up. Let everybody fill it in. Be live in a few seconds.
Yeah, we got a nice little close. You'll like it when you watch this. When you set it.
Let the room fill up. Y'all hit those notification bells and subscriptions. Subscribe this thing up, baby. Let's go. One way or another. All right. We have a special guest. Brianna is in the house. Live like 95. What's good?
Hey, what's up? How are you guys?
Great.
What's up? I'm good.
I didn't give Big Game James no intro because you
listen,
already know how this thing go.
Now listen. Now I said now you didn't talk to us, so I keep sharing now. So go ahead, Law. I got a mouthful for you here in a second, Bree.
Yeah. So we got Bree on the show tonight, and she's gonna bring in a lot of flavor for the nation. We've been missing this flavor. And when I check out your Instagram, I didn't see no pictures of 49ers. I didn't see no pictures of Eagles. I didn't see no pictures of Giants. But I did see the mighty pictures of you with the Dallas Cowboys. Are you a Dallas Cowboys fan?
Of course. I'm not only a fan, I'm the fan.
Wow.
Oh, you the
No,
fan.
no.
Why are you the fan?
I don't know, because I'm just a diehard Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan all my life since I was like a little girl, since I was about 7. So that's all I know. That's the only team I've watched. And I came about watching it because I was just going against other people in my household that like the Redskins.
Ooh,
so it just came out.
Ooh, those Redskins. I cannot believe your family members love the Redskins.
Yeah, because we were living in DC.
Uh-huh.
So they loved the Redskins. And once I saw how much they loved it and I saw the Cowboys beating them down, I was like, that's my team.
That's your team.
So ever since
the
then.
team that's beating down the other team. So
Well, you learned early.
So where you from?
So I'm from all over. I mean, I went to school in Houston for college, but I also went to school for high school in Killeen, and I was born in Honolulu. So, and like I said, I lived in DC, so I'm really like from all over. Yeah, but I would say I'm from Texas. Like I've been in Texas the longest. I claim Texas. And I've been here since I was a little girl, so.
Okay. So with all that being said, so you're inspired to love the Cowboys, not like the Cowboys, but love them because your family members was around that Redskin stuff. And you said, you know what? I'm going to root for the team that's beating down everybody else. So with that being said, I saw that you have a podcast out there. Do you want to tell people, about that podcast? Because a lot of times people just look at you and might say, well, she's pretty and all, but she knows the football.
Yeah, let's not even
that I don't know football. I've been a tomboy my whole life.
What?
Really?
Like, don't let the outfits fool you.
Okay.
Like, I've played every sport there was, like, my whole life, literally. So, I mean, football is the only sport I was not able to play, but I've played soccer, I've run track, volleyball was my other. If I had to choose between football and volleyball, it's a toss-up because it's like my first love. But everything, I played softball, I've done karate, taekwondo, ballet, ice skating, everything. Literally everything. I'm one of those people because you don't know if you don't like something unless you try it. So
right.
No doubt.
Let me ask you a quick question because I'm all on this and this might sound crazy, but what's your sign? I don't know how that person.
What do y'all think?
I'm thinking because I'm a Gemini.
I'm Aquarius.
Are you saying I'm crazy?
I got the best sign out there. I'm Aquarius. So
you're right there. You don't got the best sign. The best sign is Libra. Stop it.
You can't live without water.
I don't even know what an Aquarius is. What is that? The fish?
It's the picture of water. Everybody needs the water. That's Pisces.
And everybody needs scales.
Like
everybody needs scales. Oh, come on, man.
Libra's good. They balance things. I'm an Aries, so I'm a fire sign. We just I think they say like we just live life on the edge, like just
you know,
do whatever.
When
y'all very stern and direct. I know that because my youngest son is an Aries, so I already know about that Aries life. Yes, I already know about that Aries life.
When you mention Aries, it just make me think of
this is Sparta.
Something like war, battling. You know what I'm saying? Those type of things. Yeah. So you have a high level of competition. Before we went live, you know, you was talking about, Big Game James said it was a two-hand touch game that we want to play, and you was like, nah, I don't want to do no two-hand touch and no pulling of the flag. Tell the people what you wanted to do.
Because recently I've been looking on YouTube and I've seen the Lingerie Football League, even though they got rid of it, but those girls were really hitting each other. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it would be good to let out some aggression. To let out some aggression? Mm-hmm. I mean, if it's another woman.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be hitting y'all. I know y'all can't take that. I know y'all can't take it.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't take it, you know. But if you had the opportunity to play in that league, would you?
I would. What position would I be? Come on now.
I think you might be a fullback or running back. Thick. I'm just telling you.
When
thick.
I was a little kid,
play
they
a running
used to
back
have
or something.
linebacker thighs, like linebacker thighs.
You still, them thighs is thick. Now, come on. I ain't being funny, but I'm saying if you're playing defense, maybe.
But I can catch.
You can catch?
So I want to be a tight end or something.
All right. Okay. We'll go with that.
Okay. Hey,
because I'm tall too. Like I'm not just thick.
How tall are you?
Yeah, I'm 5'8".
5'8".
Oh,
so I'm tall and thick. See, so that's a tight end body right there. They're tall and thick. And I played basketball before too.
Is you any good?
I was like cherry picking the whole time. I would just like wait for everything to happen and stand under the goal, and they throw me the ball.
Okay, because I ain't want to have to post you up. I'm just letting you know I'm about that basketball life. So if you ever want to jump on that life, you know what I'm saying? I'm posting.
I can play horse. I'm good at that.
Yes, indeed. So horse, you can play basketball, soccer, hockey.
I'm saying I could play these things, but I'm not saying I could play these things good. So just make sure you put that in there.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure.
I don't want nobody challenging.
I'll make sure we put you on the winning team because we don't want to go on another team. Big Game James would talk about the other person on the other team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
He seems competitive. He seems like he is really, like he's looking forward to it. Anybody looking forward to it like that? I'm not sure. I don't want to be on your team.
I'm super competitive. Sure. You would want to be on my team because at the end of the day, my teams don't lose. You play on my team.
But it's for charity.
It don't matter. Charity, it don't matter. I'm competitive. I coach, all that stuff. So charity, it's all good, but I ain't trying to lose.
Okay, MJ Jr., that's you right there. I'm going to have to watch you.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so let's go over here to this football world. You know, we talked about, you know, all of this stuff, but I know you was watching the games last year. What happened to us last year from your perspective?
Well, what had happened was, well, it was coaching. What can we say? It's been coaching. It was coaching the whole time. And, well, let's just put it what it is. Every year we really have drama. It's too much drama in the off season, so we never can have a good year. It's always something. It's always somebody's contract or somebody's in trouble or something. It's always something. So that, a combination of that, and we were having like growing pains. That's what I called it, because we were going from like a running team, running the ball with Zeke all the time. And then we switched it up to more of a passing team. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, it takes a little time to adjust, you know, and we gotta, you know, you gotta get different players for the type of game we're getting, you know, the type of game we were having. So I think this season's gonna be much better. I mean,
yeah, we do.
I say that every season, but
I say live like 95. So I've been saying it
better.
every year since 95. We going to the Super Bowl. We going to do this. We going to do that. Then I look back and I say, dog, close but no cigar.
Don't say the Super Bowl. You can just predict the season. But if you say the Super Bowl, you're probably jinxing us, and that's what happened.
Oh, so it's my fault.
Exactly. I blame you, people like you.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Since we're talking about the old staff, in your opinion, let me ask you this. So we got Mike McCarthy as a new coach. You know, Jason Garrett is out. What do you think, in your opinion, does Mike McCarthy kind of bring to the table that you would think is going to be different from a Jason Garrett?
Well, I'm hoping he just brings winning leadership. I mean, you know, once you win something, he can just spread those vibes around. Also, I mean, it's not strictly vibes, but it's really the team he's hired. I mean, he's going to keep Kellen Moore, which I thought our offense was awesome. And then the defensive people he's brought in, I mean, looking at the players they brought in as well, I don't see how we can lose. I mean, Mike McCarthy, he was kind of like an old school coach and pretty much stale in Green Bay. I'm sorry, Mike McCarthy, I love you, but it was kind of stale in Green Bay. But I think it was just because he needed to change the scenery. And also him and Aaron Rodgers didn't get along, but now he has Dak, and Dak is laid back, he's chill, and he's willing to learn because he has something Dak doesn't have, and that's Super Bowl. And I mean, anybody can respect that. Now, as far as like him not being, you know, not watching film and doing different like technology things, I mean, that's what Kellen Moore is for. So people who say that, just know Kellen Moore is there. I think he's going to hold it down.
Okay, so Kellen Moore and everything.
So you like the Kellen Moore thing.
I do like Kellen Moore.
I see you mentioned him twice already. So I see you.
Well, I'm all for giving new young coaches a chance because I feel like the NFL is filled with old people who have old perspectives. Yes. I mean, older people who have older perspectives. And whenever they bring in a new young coach, you see it always changes the tide. So, I mean, everybody is following what the Rams did, but I definitely feel like Kellen Moore, he's a good offensive coordinator. He might not be a head coach, but we're not asking him to do that. But he can draw up some plays. There was some plays out there last year that I actually didn't know the play. So that was good.
True. I mean, she preaching now, Cowboy Nation. She said there were some plays that we didn't know.
I'm gonna say a few things that I'm already agree on with what you were talking about. That I think the coaches they recycle these coaches too much. Too many times they recycle the old guys. You got to let this new flavor come in and be able to move in because you can't have a coach who coached 15 years and all of a sudden he gets fired and he goes get a job like in 1.5 seconds. So I definitely agree with you with that. And then with the perspective of, I don't know if he really got stale. Maybe he did get stale in Green Bay, but I will agree with you because I said this before, though, that after you've been with the team so long, Jason Garrett, after you've been with the team so long, and even though they've been winning, he got a Super Bowl and they were hitting playoffs, the voice becomes stale on deaf ears. Yeah. Okay. And I think that's what happened with Garrett on that last year. When we brought people in, Brian Broader said it yesterday about guys were playing hero ball. So in that aspect, I definitely feel what you're saying. Now I got one of my peoples in here because people going to be asking questions, Bree. So I got one of my people. Let me grab it here.
Don't drill me too hard.
I ain't going to drill you too hard, but you know I gave you the eyeballs when the inbox just said them questions coming. So get ready.
All right.
Get ready.
So I got my boy, the Lunatic. He wants to know your thoughts on Jordan Lewis. I don't know if it's the left guard or Jordan Lewis. What do you think about Jordan Lewis?
This is the cornerback, right? Yes.
Cornerback, Jordan Lewis, yes.
Yes, cornerback, Jordan Lewis. Okay, I like him. I'm glad they finally gave him a chance. This whole time, they were always playing it safe instead of just going with who shows you that they're good. Don't worry about where they were drafted or how they played last year or how much money they're making. It should always be about who's playing the best. But I know politics plays a lot into that. So I feel like with a new coach, he's going to get like a fresh start. I mean, other people were moved out. So now he's going to step up. I mean, he was literally the only person who was really getting interceptions last year.
Preach.
And he definitely stood out. So I say good. I like him.
Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis. So y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.
We ain't heard. I mean, here's the thing. We don't have too many people that complain about Jordan Lewis. I think it's just a point of they gave Anthony Brown this 3-year contract. He's making the money. So it was frustrating because we're saying that, okay, he was out of contract and he was up for free agency. So that's why they gave him money. But we were talking yesterday that they didn't have to give him money. They could have let him go, let him walk, and threw that money over to Jordan Lewis, because when we listen to Brian Broaddus, and what we've already been feeling is he's the better player, but the money talks. And when the money talks, it's kind of hard to say this player is going to be here long term when you see another person getting a deal before him.
True that.
Yep. So that goes back to politics. When people say they don't want politics in sports, that's a part of the politics.
I've been saying that for many of years. We love Jason Witten. We loved him. But we just saw him getting old and ancient. He was moving like a snail out there. And we knew what he was going to do. What was your thoughts when you saw Jason Witten coming back to play for another year for the Dallas Cowboys?
Okay, well, let's start with the positives. Jason Witten is great at blocking, and he's trustworthy. He knew the playbook. I mean, maybe it would have been good for him to stay that extra year because he was able to bring Blake Jarwin along. No, he was able to bring him along. You saw how far he came from the year before, which nobody even knew he existed. So maybe we can only give that to Jason Witten. Now, on the negative, yes, I do run faster than Jason Witten, and I am proud. But I mean, there were some games where he tipped the ball and it was an interception, and then Dak would get blamed. And that was the messed up part. That we did lose a few games because of Jason Witten. I mean, maybe not all because of him, but he really did play he really did play a part on a few of those. But sometimes it's like that, Sometimes when somebody has been with you for so long, you have the loyalty to them where you want it to be their decision, kind of, where they can move along. So it's good. I think he'll bring the Raiders. He's going to bring the Raiders ratings. He's going to bring them, plenty of fans.
Who, Jason
Plenty
Witten?
of fans. Yes, his fan base is different. If you know what I'm saying right now.
I feel you. His fan base is different, but I'm in my opinion, Jason Witten is just done. I think, you know what I mean? I don't know how they're going to incorporate him because they already got a tight end over there, but
for blocking.
I don't know. His blocking was okay, but I just feel like, man, it's over. You retired once. It was really no need for you really.
They're in a new city in Las Vegas, so they really need people to come out. They need familiar faces. They need to bring in stars. So it works out perfectly, and then that way he can retire, even come back to the Cowboys, or that's probably how it's going to end up.
Don't come back to the Cowboys trying to play. Come back to retire.
No, he'll probably coaching.
Okay,
isn't that what he wanted to do?
Yeah, we'll see.
What were your thoughts on his defense last year? We didn't get a lot of turnovers like you mentioned earlier, but what about Chris Richard and all of those guys? What's your thoughts on that?
I see it, and that's somebody that I wanted to stay, but I know a lot of people say that he was preaching about, playing the ball or something like that, something like to that matter where, he doesn't teach to get interceptions. But I don't know. I never like to see another black man down. So I obviously wanted him to succeed. And I mean, our defense the year before was good. So I don't see what fell off. And maybe it's because some people got comfortable or some people got, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I feel because it was the same exact players, same exact scheme. Everything was the same. And it went from mediocre where they were saying Dallas has a pretty good defense to just, I don't know. So.
I'm gonna let James ask the next question because you already know. Over here.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna get my peoples over here. Floor Perrier, what's up with you with the $2 holler? I don't know if you were able to check out the draft this year, but he asked, who do you think who is your favorite rookie so far? Even though they haven't played yet, the rookies haven't played. Who kind of stood out to you? Was like, ooh, I'm glad we drafted him.
Well, of course, CeeDee Lamb. Like, that's a no-brainer.
CeeDee
for the TD.
And people were like, don't jinx it. And I'm like, no, I'm predicting we're going to get a good wide receiver. Because I always watch, Undisputed. And for, 2 weeks straight, Skip Bayless kept talking about we're going to get him. And I'm like, he knows something. So I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, first of all, he went to Oklahoma. He must know something. And then so once that started happening, I put 2 and 2 together in my mind. I was like, okay, yep, Cowboys are going to get him. And then once they start passing him up, I was like, yep, it's going to happen. So, I mean, the fact that we can have 3 elite wide receivers and an elite running back there is no excuse. So there's no excuse.
Oh, I'm not gonna say it then. I'm not gonna say it out. I'm not gonna spread out over the nation and things like that. I'm not gonna say it. This year, hey, Brianna came on the show because I don't want to call you Bree. I can say Bree. Oh, okay. Because she said
if you say it too loud. Yeah, see.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that means I'm part of the friend club. That's good, you know. Because at first I thought you were just gonna say, well, if I can't say Bree, you know, then you're gonna say Lawrence. You're going to say Lawrence the whole entire show.
Lawrence.
There's too many words, you know. Lawrence.
I do like that. That's very proper. Lawrence is better, actually. Law. It's not good to talk about law right now. So Lawrence is it. Lawrence it is.
Just tell him that he's the only law. So
but I'm the only law. You know, it's not good to talk about the law and these sorts of things. Nevertheless, you know, we talked about, I don't want to go there. I ain't going to go there. I heard on your podcast, you was talking about the top 5 draft, you know, your top 5. Do you still have that in your recall? Can you spit that out to the people right quick?
I mean, I don't have it in my recall, but I know that I had number 1 as the Cowboys, of course.
True.
I mean, we got away with, we traded with the Eagles. The Eagles traded with us. We tricked the Eagles into giving us a piece that we desperately needed because someone retired.
Wow.
So that first of all was great. We stole CeeDee Lamb from the Eagles. It was a good night. So it was a good night. And then we got some good defensive pieces. So I know I had us at number 1. You should tell me. I had also.
We can tell you.
Okay, tell me the number.
Okay, I'm gonna open your brain back up, and then you tell me. I'm gonna open your brain up. Now I don't know if I got all of them down packed, but you already talked about CD for TD.
Yeah.
Trevin Diggs from Alabama, cornerback, who I really like. He's a guy.
Oh yes, I forgot that. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm opening your minds.
Yeah. We were getting all kinds of skills.
You feel me?
We were killing them.
One thing I like about Diggs, and I think, you know, Brian Broaddus was on the show yesterday, and we have been talking about it. We think that he could be an early rookie starter, somebody who could play early because of his ball skills and because he's the required length that they like. And he's really opportunistic, and he competes, and he's played against top players. So he's not going to come in and saying that, you know, he's not going to be scared of anything. 3rd round, we got Nelly Gallimore. That's Neville Gallimore. That's another guy from Oklahoma, inside guy that, you know, we got to see what he's going to do and what he's going to bring to the table. But if you look at the way his attitude was and how he's hyped, and then you got a Gerald McCoy who's from Oklahoma who's on the line as well. Yeah. That's like a good little piece. You got Tyler Biadasz, who's the center, badass, who that's the one you talked about where we pretty much swapped with the Eagles, faked him out right there. And then a lot of people have been talking. We had Robinson, but a lot of people have been talking about Bradley Anai from, is it Utah Law?
Yeah, Utah, and he's from where your birth state is from. You know,
he's from your spot.
From your neck of the woods.
So make sure you remember him because he's a guy that a lot of people are talking about. He can come off the bench, and he might not be a starter, but he's might be a guy that can be in the rotation or a 3rd down specialist, pass rushing specialist.
And that's what we're gonna need.
That's what we need.
It's going to be a team effort, so especially on defense. I mean, since we did lose some key defensive pieces, it's going to be like more of a team effort, which is good.
So what do you think about, they got Alden Smith. He hadn't played in the league in about 4 years. We all know about his chronic past. The Dallas Cowboys brought him in. He got, brought in by Goodell, reinstated him. Do you think he might be a factor this year?
Of course. I really hate when in the NFL they call people old as soon as they hit 30, and especially he hasn't had any hits on his body. And it's not like he's taking the hits. He's given the hits. So I do expect he probably has like a lot on his chest too that he wants to let out, a lot of aggression. And he's going to be like eager to prove people wrong. Like that's the motivation when somebody has motivation like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely can't count them out. And I mean, when he was in his prime, he was elite. So I don't see how much even if he fell off 30%, I'm still seeing him at a good 70% there. So, I mean, he was really good when he was before everything happened. He was good.
Before all the craziness happened.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm excited about him. My guy's actually training him right now. Brandon Tucker, shout out to you, B. He's actually training him right now. Randy Gregory and the guy David Irvin used to play with the Cowboys. So
that's what we need. And legalize marijuana then.
Yes,
Stop making, like, how is this a crime?
I mean,
it's
come
legal
on,
in
man.
Colorado, so some places they're good, some places they're not. And people are judging these people based off that, which is ridiculous. That should not take away anybody's livelihood and then bring other people $1 billion. So legalize. So vote, y'all. Go out and vote, please.
You got the message out there. Y'all get out there and vote. For real. You know,
message.
You know. Y'all get out there and vote.
Texas is gonna be one of the last spots to let that come in though.
Man. I don't know why.
I know, you know why.
Yes,
did you hit your thing, Bree?
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
there you go.
So now she's
sorry.
There you go.
I had a call.
Silver and Blue Nation.
That's all right. You're just gonna have to be Silver Blue Nation right now. So no. Just stay with me.
Well,
you want her to come back yet?
Yeah. What I can do is, James, you can leave and just come back. All you got to do is just leave and come back. And,
all right, I'm gonna leave. You keep it going. I'm gonna be right back.
Yes, indeed. Nothing wrong with that. So we will keep it rolling. Nah, you good. You all the way good. It was Big Game James' fault. It was his fault. It was not your fault. Don't ever think it was his. It was his fault, you know. Yes.
I do believe that.
So I saw on your podcast you was talking about the Ravens. That was your number 5 team in the draft or what have you. You know, you were saying that they had weapons or what have you, and now they got even more weapons. So that shows me that you had a lot of range, a lot of knowledge of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the draft. I mean, I feel like it was one of the best drafts anyway. Everybody was home. So I was able to watch multiple rounds, which usually I just rather read it. But I was able to watch, all the rounds. The Ravens, I said that because they had a lot of picks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I know it's not quantity over quality at all, but sometimes when you have that many picks, the chances that you're going to miss are not, it's not that much different. So, and the way they drafted for Lamar, even though it's not the same person drafting, but the way they did draft for Lamar, I respect the organization, and they always have good talent, always. And they always have good defense. That's like the one thing they always for sure have.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. Ravens has made a point to always take care of that defense. No matter what, they're always going to have some type of defense on the squad. Now, let me ask you something. How long you been doing your podcast?
I've probably been doing it like the last 2 seasons. So this will be like going on the 3rd season.
What was your inspiration of doing it?
Because people would just ask me, like, if I'm out and about or, talking to people, everybody asks me about football stuff. And then also just on Twitter. And Twitter, you can only just type so much. So I figure I could just talk 20 minutes nonstop, into my microphone and then put it out there. And then people can give me feedback or, and then we can have good discussions like that.
Right.
But it was good because we were winning that season, so I was having a good ass time. It was 12. We were like 12-4 or something, 13-3. One of those two, we were doing good. So every time we won, I could just get on there and talk shit. So it was really fun. But last season, the seasons when we're not doing so good, it's kind of hard to get on there and just talk about how good other teams are. But I do it anyways.
Man.
Hey, that's a good thing. Now, do you go to a lot of the games this year? Do you go to attend a lot of the games?
I've gone to, if we say a lot, I'm going to maybe like a quarter of the games or something like that. But I try to go to the games because it's better. It feels better in person.
Yes,
but like I said, sometimes I start getting like, maybe if I go to the game, then they're going to lose. And then if they win or lose, depending on that, then I'm like, okay, I'll stay away. So
you very
sometimes
superstitious over there. You
Yeah,
know,
you superstitious.
You
no,
very
but that's
superstitious.
the only thing I'm superstitious about, because it'll be like sometimes I will be. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, y'all.
Oh, she popular. She getting them calls.
This doesn't make sense.
Oh, they call. That's what it is. Oh,
yeah,
I have that same problem and that same issue.
No, you don't.
You know what I mean?
How do I?
No, you don't.
Do not disturb.
You don't have that same problem.
Hey, James, you just have to leave and come back, man. You know.
All right.
Yeah, she must be tired of talking to you. That's what it is.
Nah, that's that what it is. Okay. Where'd she go? There she go. All right.
I'm back.
Yeah,
all right.
It's all
I'm gonna go back out because Law said you tired of talking to me, so I'm gonna come back out and go back in.
No, I could never be tired of talking to you. Well, when you're talking, it says Silver and Blue Nation. Oh, and then Law Nation. What does mine say? Brianna Nation.
Well, I didn't get a chance to put your name in there like that. So. But on the actual live stream, it will say bigger and better. You know, everything's bigger and better. You know, just your podcast that we want to push that out there, right? And your Instagram, where everybody can go out there and find that Instagram and follow your content, follow your work. Yeah. What made you What made you start doing Instagram, though?
I've been on Instagram. I mean, since Instagram was Instagram, I love pictures. And like, I've been like, I was on MySpace, and then everybody from MySpace went to Instagram. So there I went too. But yeah, I love just like photography in general. I like have tons of pictures of flowers and just like architecture, things like that. I just love pictures.
Yes, indeed. No, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Big Game James, what you have for the beautiful lady for the day?
Well, I also want to ask her. So, talking about this team this year, we talked about Mike McCarthy. We talked about some of the players. We're going to jump on this Dak Prescott thing. What's your opinion that, the deadline for him to get signed is July 15th. A lot of people are jumping out. We don't know what's going to happen. The Cowboys are dug in on what the 5-year deal. Dak Prescott wants that 4, and it looks like they're both dug in the ground. Do you think Dak Prescott's going to sign a long-term deal? You think the Cowboys are going to cave like they usually have with other players, or do you think like Dak will sign this tag and just play on that tag this year? What's your opinion?
I think they are going to cave. Originally, I did like everyone else thought, how could Dak be asking for like $45 million on the last year? But when when all the details are starting to come out, Dak deserves that money. I mean, nobody thought that once Tony Romo went down that we could be a successful team based off of Dak. Nobody even thought that. And he rose to the occasion. And it's not just, a regular team. It's America's team. It's the ultimate pressure. He was trying to come after Tony Romo, who was America's sweetheart, who people love to hate and hated to love. Is true. A lot of people had ties to Tony Romo. So he was trying to take his spot. And not only did he take his spot, he owned his spot. He was winning playoff games. They were like losing weight, maybe 3 games when it was him and Zeke. So I believe he gets back pay. That's what he should get. He should get, he should get everything that he missed out on and more, because all those years that he was winning, nobody was complaining. And now that we had 1 year that we weren't, that we were 8-8.
Yeah.
And then it's like, don't pay.
Right.
Pay that. Don't pay him. And I just tell people, like, look at your own job. Do you go
say
to
it
your
again.
Own job?
Say it
for the people in the back. Say it for
let's say this real. Say the whole thing, but say it real loud.
Right. It's just look at yourself and your job. Do you go hard at your job every single day? Are you 100%? And if you're not 100%, somebody's like down your throat sending you hate messages, and now they want to deduct your pay. Like, does that happen in real life? No, it doesn't.
Right.
And so, yeah, he had some off games, but those off games he had, people forget to say that his shoulder was hurt. And he's just a good person. So he didn't say, he wasn't outright within say, like, my shoulder's hurt. But that Eagles game, his shoulder was hurt, and anybody who couldn't tell that is crazy. But the games that he didn't play well, he was hurt, and so the whole drama, everything was just dramatic. They need to pay him. He deserves it. He's put up with, like, literally, he's put up with the most dramatic team, the most dramatic fan base, and his contract has been lingering for like 2 years. He's been the talk of every show. So pay Dak. Just pay him his money, because when next year or whenever 4 or 5 years from here on out, that money's going to be chump change. Just like it was with Matthew Stafford, or when people thought Stafford got paid too much. Now that money is chump change. So chump change to them, not me. Y'all want to send me money?
Send the money.
Look, don't worry about that. I don't think you would have that problem right about now if you was looking at your comments.
Yes, indeed.
Let's send you a whole bunch of cash.
We should have had that Cash App link ready, man. I forgot to tell
you
to send it all over here. You know what I mean?
Just vote. Go vote. Instead of sending Cash App, go vote.
Go vote. There you go.
Go vote. Yeah. Hey, but just bouncing off you, Bree, when you saying that, I've been saying this for a long time. If you was at your job, right? I'm just for real bouncing off you. Ain't no way in hell if you at your job and you had people that were hired before you and they were the man, right? You come in and doing the same things as them, if not better. Now all of a sudden you come up for your raise or your time, and they're like, "Hey, Jay, you know what? Do this for the team. I like you.
Yeah.
Do this for the team. We got to keep everybody here." You know what I'm telling them? Hell to the no. I'm not doing that. And as much as I love my team, I have busted my tail. I have done everything you wanted me to do. I have not called off. I have not missed any days, no sick days. Whatever you needed me to do, I've been here. So why in the hell am I going to take less money at my job because you want to make it better for everybody else? Hell no. And nobody else in their right mind would do it. So that's what kills me when they tell people that Dak should take a hometown discount. Dak should do this. Right. No, because ain't nobody else. And this is the NFL. You take one play and your career could be over. You could never play again. So you need to financially take care of yourself and have stability as well. And he's done everything he's doing. What kind of, I'm gonna just go on my tangent right quick because
go ahead.
I love Dak. You know what I'm saying? And I ranted about Dak a little bit. I had rants, but at the end of the day, the leadership. Where have you seen Dak Prescott get in trouble? He does everything right for the team. Everybody says since day one, the former players that we have had on here, current players, say he is a leader. Okay. And you just don't find that just don't grow on trees, especially you a leader of men and you have grown men that you are in that locker room and they don't just believe in everybody. So the fact that they said he came in his rookie year and the locker room was already feeling him, pay my man his money, because like you said, in the next 2 or 3 years, that ain't gonna be talking about his money.
Even just a few months, once Patrick Mahomes gets his money, it's gonna be so astronomical. It's not even gonna matter what Dak is asking for. Dak is gonna be looking like he's asking for chump change because it's not even gonna matter. So maybe that's what him and his agent are waiting for. They're waiting for, because Patrick Mahomes is gonna have to sign his deal sooner or later, and then that's gonna set an unbelievable standard, and then Dak can come right underneath that, but maybe still ahead of Russell Wilson.
Just a little bit over, like what, 37, 38?
Just a little bit over.
Just a little bit over.
Just a little bit.
People fail to realize that, and you bringing in some good stuff, some good facts over there with Dak Prescott.
Yes, you are.
I mean, I bet you was last year beating on the drum of saying, hey, they should go ahead and pay Ezekiel Elliott. They should go ahead and pay DeMarcus Lawrence as well, right?
Yeah, don't sit on the money. I mean, we should spend as much money all the way to the penny as we can, and then draft well so we can take advantage of the rookies and their talent. And I think that's what we're doing now. I mean, we have paid a lot of people, but how are you just not going to pay your quarterback? Because that really sets the standard, and that just lets them know, like, okay, that's our leader. But right now, he is making the same thing as the rookies. So it's like, you know, it's kind of like you making the same money as your boss.
It's a slap in the face.
Exactly.
It's a slap in the face. Call it what it is, Bree. It's a slap in the face. You feel me? You got rookies coming in, and you got your all-world quarterback, and he still don't have a contract. We have a franchise-type quarterback back here, and the running back got paid, the defensive end got paid, the receiver got paid, all these guys got paid, and we're still talking about our franchise quarterback within the last 2 years of not getting paid. And I think a few people said it here in the feed, and I've been beating this drum, Bree, is that if Dak Prescott has banged this good or did this good with Jason Garrett, who I thought was a very, very average coach.
True.
We seen Mike McCarthy, what he's done with prior quarterbacks and offenses. How can you not get excited and hurry up and say, let's sign Dak? Because now we got a proven winner quarterback. We got a guy who's been to the Super Bowl, been to NFC championships, been to consecutive playoffs. How much better is he going to enhance Dak Prescott and take us to hopefully that 6th championship?
Exactly.
I'm passionate.
I totally
I'm sorry.
agree with you. I'm throwing the holy water at you.
I throw the holy water. I'm passionate. I'm passionate, Bree. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to start going crazy, but I'm passionate.
That was good.
Yes, it did.
I mean, like I said, it's all politics. Dak was a 4th rounder, and when you're a 4th rounder, you sometimes don't get the same respect as somebody who was drafted in the 1st round, even if you're better than them. So, and they're going to say that everybody in around Dak's age has made it to a Super Bowl, which is kind of true, but at the same time, Dak had coaching to hold him back. So just give him the chance. And so maybe once the franchise tag, like after this year, maybe once, and then Patrick Mahomes gets signed, everything will play out. I just don't want him to hold out.
No, I don't think he should. I think that he'll figure out a way.
Every year, that's drama. Drama every single offseason. We can never have.
just a regular season.
You already know it is. It's the Dallas Cowboys. We can't never have a regular season with Dallas.
Never had a regular season.
I want to know your thoughts on old Carson Wentz, man, the opposing team quarterback from the Eagles. What's your thoughts on him?
Well, the nice thing to say would be, I'm playing. I don't hate Carson. I do not like Carson Wentz, and it's not because I don't like him as a person. It's the uniform he wears. So everything I say now is not for Carson Wentz, a person, but so I hate Carson Wentz because they try to put Carson Wentz on this silver, gold, titanium, whatever they want to call it, this pedestal that he is just so good and he's the end all be all. He's so much better than Dak, but he can never even finish a season. How do we know if he's better than Dak if he can never finish? Like, if you run hella fast for a race, but you never get to the finish line, and none of that counts. So he never makes it to the end. So everything they say about him is irrelevant to me. That he's a gunslinger, he could throw the ball downfield, he's so accurate, all this other stuff. The Carson Wentz I saw was throwing the ball 20 feet over people's head to the sideline in the dirt. And let's not talk about all of his fumbles, which if I had to count, then I would have
Nugget.
I would not.
Look at those nuggets. Look at she throwing some yoga fire.
Yoga flame.
I'm just saying,
out the top rope.
Anytime he cannot throw the ball to Zach Ertz, then he either fumbles or just throws it away. And I don't see how that's better than Dak. At least Dak will actually take a sack. He will actually take a hit. Carson Wentz is so scared to hurt his leg again that he will not even sit back in the pocket. As soon as stuff happens, as soon as the O-line breaks down, he's looking for Zach Ertz. If Zach Ertz is doubled, fumble, and it's going the other way. Like literally every game I watch. I'm sorry, Eagles fans, if you feel differently. Not really. I'm not there.
Yeah, we're going to have you when we get some Philly fans on here so you can go ahead and get at them.
No, they hate me.
Yeah, that's good. They hate me too. That's good. We like the hate. We love the hate. You feel me? So you better jump on that. But if you ain't telling the truth about that and that Zach Ertz, he don't look for nobody. Nobody else. The ball, he go right to Zach Ertz. And that's why I feel like we always be getting at him. And I feel you too. Dude, y'all hype him and he was a top 5 pick. What has he done better than Dak?
Nothing. He have not won a playoff game. And then people would talk about, hey, he got him a Super Bowl ring, like he's really going to wear it. You know.
Man, come on, man.
That really hurt his confidence, which excited me. But once they won that Super Bowl without him, it really hurt his confidence that okay, now that sets a standard. So he's under so much pressure. And I do believe that the rest of his teammates don't like him as much as other people think, because he doesn't even pass them the ball. Think of it. If one person only passed one person the ball and y'all are losing, just pass us the ball. And then when he did pass other people the ball, it would be horrible balls. They would drop it and everybody would blame them. And yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they in the chat talking about, tell him, Queen. Tell him, Queen.
Because I was about to throw it out there, Bree, that he ain't the leader like Dak is, like everybody in that locker room. And then you go ahead and come back with the smackdown and say it yourself. So I really appreciate you having that knowledge about that, because a lot of people don't talk about that locker room presence, because if you're not the leader of men and they don't view you, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, you got to be able to lead these guys. And I think that's what's huge in Dak Prescott's favor. And let's, like we said, pay the man.
Yeah, you got to go ahead and reach in that pocket and pay good old Dak Prescott.
He's going to get paid. It's just all negotiations. So they do this to every single person. So, I mean. Always
lowballing. They always doing this. Now, let me ask you another thing, Bree. I'm going to jump on this volleyball thing right quick. It was kind of in my head. I don't know why. But you said that was if you had a choice, that volleyball would be one of your main sports. Tell me why do you like volleyball so much? Because I remember when I was in high school, right? We had a team of girls, and volleyball wasn't huge back then when I was coming up, but our volleyball team won 2 state volleyball championships back to back, and they were really good. We had some really tall girls up front. This was actually in Ohio. And they were really good, and it made me open my eyes to volleyball a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because I was going to the games. I was like, man, I want to see these girls. For the wrong
reasons, but okay.
Oh, no.
Call them out, Bree. Call them out.
50-50.
I really enjoying
50-50. 50-50.
Yeah.
50-50, Bree. Okay. But tell me one of the reasons why that's like one of your loves. Volleyball is one of your loves. Why do you get so into it?
It's such a team sport. Like, you literally cannot play it alone. And anytime you have no control over where the ball goes. So if the ball goes to somebody who sucks, it's like you have to overcompensate for them. And so it's already a challenge. And then the fact that you can spike the ball, and you can let out so much aggression. You're actually trying to hit the
So that's what it is. You like hitting people with the ball.
You like to line up close to the neck.
You like hitting. Just say you like hitting people with the ball. Don't say that. Don't tell me nothing.
I like blocking. I like just the feeling of somebody trying, just a block in basketball. The feeling of somebody going up and then you blocking them. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, except it's with 2 hands.
Right. Okay.
So it's just like an adrenaline feeling, but it's the ultimate team game. And it's fun. You could play with anybody, even if they suck.
So you actually can.
We should set up. We should set up not this flag football tournament.
No, we shouldn't.
We should set up the
volleyball.
No,
what they're wearing shorts. They're gonna be wearing. Everybody's gonna be wearing booty shorts.
I'm not.
You got silent.
We ain't having a whole ain't nobody wearing no damn booty shorts out there.
You can wear the booty shorts. I'm not.
You can wear the booty shorts.
That's what you have to wear to play volleyball.
Not here. Not here.
No, it's okay. Fine. It was his idea.
Hey, that's law.
But let me let the chat know. Would you guys rather have the volleyball game or the flag football game? Y'all let me know in the chat.
It don't matter what they're doing. We're doing football.
In football, people are just going to be running and then steal a flag. It's not really sexy. Volleyball, like, people are going to be falling. Boobs are going to be bouncing.
There it is.
I can't get it.
Hey, ho.
Y'all are so funny.
Hey, ho.
So what about basketball, though? You don't like the basketball sport? What about that one?
I love basketball. I like basketball. That's just my third. That would be like my third sport.
Third of the list. Okay.
Yeah. To watch.
Did you get any offers for
volleyball? I did, but it was all upstate, like North Dakota. What was I gonna do there?
Right, I feel you.
So I said no.
Yeah, not that way, Nathan.
Right, I don't think I don't think I was gonna be happy, so I did not. But yeah,
Okay.
I really liked it. I mean, I was really good for what it was worth.
Do you ever play like any co-ed nowadays? Do you ever like do it in your
I used
pastime?
to.
Okay.
In Houston, they used to have like little leagues and like little gyms that are set up with volleyball courts, like 10 volleyball courts and like a pickup, kind of like pickup basketball.
Okay.
But I haven't found any really in Dallas.
I don't even know the rules anymore of volleyball. They're like, you gotta break it down.
Set, spike, hit, block.
And you say you watch sports, but you this is sexism.
Get him, Bree. Get him, Bree.
Educate the nation. Educate the nation on the volleyball. I know you gotta serve. I know we do it every family.
Set, spike.
What's say again?
Bump, set, spike.
And isn't it to 15?
Hold
16.
Hold on before y'all.
25.
25. That's too many.
Back in the day, it used to be 15, but it's 25. And if anybody makes a mistake, it's a point on either side. Back in the day, it used to be 15, where if you are serving, you get a point.
Right.
And then you can side out, and then the other person will serve.
Let me say this before y'all get all of that out now. Just because I don't know the rules don't mean I'm going to lose. I will not lose. Y'all can book that.
I hear some of them talking. I ain't worried about because I can play some volleyball too. For real.
Well,
I just spike it on your head.
I
spike it on your head. I know how to serve. I will spike it on your head. I will block it.
I hope you're not serving like that.
No, with the closed fist, closed You're tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session with the ball fist.
It's got to be this law. It's got to be. It's got to be
this
law.
There you go.
It's got to be this law.
I'm gonna hit it with the closed fist,
I don't care. Ain't none of that. Said, don't be tapping it like that.
Right. That's you're not on my team.
He said, you a man or you a mouse.
I'm gonna be like, man, you know when you start losing, you be like, man, forget this, man. Y'all let's go play some basketball.
Exactly. That's definitely gonna be both of y'all, actually.
What?
So I'll stick with the.
What?
You know what? I think we're going to add volleyball now.
Sorry.
We're going to play football. We're going to add volleyball.
When is this going to be outside?
Man,
it's going to be outside.
I tell you what we going to do, Jays. Me
your makeup, all that makeup is going to be regular.
You and your best friend versus me and Big Abe J.
Yeah, bring it.
On the volleyball.
Yeah, that's a personal
I have
challenge.
to find somebody that's
Find
good.
somebody because you're going to lose.
See
He doesn't even know the rules.
I know the rules. Where you going to lose?
I guess I can lower my standards and play with y'all.
Oh, we're gonna smash you. We're gonna smash you, Bree. I mean, you. Oh man,
and y'all are like JV or something like that.
Oh, you throwing it out there now? Okay. That's how you feel,
man.
Okay,
JV junior. I'm saying junior varsity. I didn't say like the 9th grade freshman team. I said JV.
Okay. Keep on. Okay. She already done started fuel. Vach was already talking all this trash. Now we got Vach, Lady Vach. They're here talking all this trash. Okay. Okay, just make sure you get your player because we ain't gonna play around. Me and Law. Boothang, look, I got my Boothang. Boothang said she jump on here and be on your team because she ultra competitive. I'll spike the ball on Boothang too. Even though
good.
I will spike the ball on your head, Boothang. Just so you
know. So we're gonna have to schedule this up and plan it up. Maybe one of those home Dallas Cowboys game. We are scheduled up the day before the game. We do a lot of events out there. So if all of this COVID stuff over clears and everything, maybe, just maybe we'll find a volleyball court.
What's COVID?
COVID.
Did you say COVID?
I'm country. See, since you from Hawaii and stuff, I'm from Mississippi.
COVID.
I'm from Mississippi.
My family's from Mississippi. I've never heard of COVID. Okay. You could have just said Rona, something, COVID-19, coronavirus.
I don't want to say Rona. That Rona, man. That Rona got us all locked up in the house for a couple of months.
Say Rona. Don't say no COVID no more.
He said COVID. Where the E come from? That's why I was confused.
COVID. My stuff can be on the commercial.
There you go. Just say the Rona.
Rona in them.
Thank you, the Rona.
And them. You
got to put too high class to put
that. Man, come on, but you know what? Ain't been a lot of social distancing, so I don't know about all that. Once they said everything was good, everybody I'm like, wow, what happened with all the social distancing, man?
Well, they did say that if you are asymptomatic, a lot of those people can't spread it. So they found that out like 2 days ago.
Oh, the World Health
I
Organization.
don't believe.
I saw that.
I don't believe.
posted
See,
on my
you
gram.
saw that too.
I saw the World Health.
I be watching the news.
Shoot, you fool around and get out there and fold up like a wallet. I'm still wear that mask. I ain't gonna play around, but like, y'all go ahead. Walk around.
The mask is supposed to protect other people. It doesn't necessarily protect you. They want you to know that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're looking out for other people, which is very sweet and very nice. I respect that. I like that. But you're not really protected. Just
FYI. So I didn't know that. See, I'm learning. See, the nation is learning over here, Jane.
Yeah, but if everybody does it, then you see what I'm saying? If everybody does it, then it's good. But if somebody's around like me that doesn't have a mask, then
mask off.
Mask off.
All right, now I'm while Law's asking you something, I'm pulling up the schedule because I want you to tell me what games, if they're having games and we're all allowed to go, things of that nature. I'm going to pull up.
I know
the 49ers game. I know
I want to know what game is going to. What was one of the most exciting games that you're want to see this year?
Oh, definitely. I have to go to every Eagles Cowboys game when they're here, and the 49ers game is good. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I like the 49ers, and the 49ers think that they run stuff. So
I can't. Ooh.
Well, I'm saying I like them as in. Listen, I like them as in their team and stuff. Like Jimmy G, I like him.
Okay.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Y'all don't like Jimmy G?
No.
I feel there's some
I don't like Jimmy G.
I
don't like Jimmy G at all, and I hate the 49ers.
He missed my dog.
Why do you hate them?
He missed my dog, who is a Texas native.
Why do I hate the 49ers? Well, let me see.
We haven't played them in so long.
We played
them in a couple years. I don't like them. I can't stand them.
But we've been owning them, so it's
right. But the fact that I have a lot of, you're a little younger than me, Bree, so I got a little more history with them Niners, and I remember the catch.
So you
hate
them more than the Eagles?
Oh my goodness!
I don't know about that one.
See, exactly. You can only hate one team at a time.
Who do you hate worse?
I still hate the 49ers worse than those
Eagles. I hate the Eagles. Why do you hate the 49ers?
Because they have 5 championships.
They got 5.
But they're not stopping nothing. They're not about to get another. So
okay,
they're just on their way.
That one.
We need to go with who our competition is in the NFC.
Who's our competition?
The person that each year we switch off on who wins the championship. That's who we have to go with. Even if they are dirty Eagles, they are in our they're in our conference. So our division. So what can we do?
Well, I got one of my guys here that gave me a $10 holla. So appreciate you on that. You'll see. We'll talk about that off air. He says, what are your thoughts on Bennett's comments, Foles over Wentz? I mean, at the end of the day, when we were talking about that, Nick Foles, people got to remember, Nick Foles was a decent quarterback before Wentz even came on the scene. I mean, he had a 7-touchdown game. I mean, he was, I don't really know. I think the biggest thing that Foles would hold over Wentz is that locker room leadership, and I think that's what gives him the edge. I think more talent-wise, Wentz is better than him talent-wise, but I think the leadership goes a longer way. You can have talent, but when you have talent with the leadership, I'm going to take that just over a talented person, because the leadership, you want the people to follow you. You feel me? Right. You want the people to believe in you. And when people believe in you and they follow you, they play harder for you. And I think that's what the key is for me. So if we're talking about that aspect with the leadership, I would definitely take Foles over Wentz.
Okay.
Your thoughts, Bree?
Nick Foles.
I stumped you.
No, well, I can't take Foles over Wentz because Foles has already reached his peak and he's on the downward spike. He's reached what is going to be better than him winning a Super Bowl. Is he going to win another Super Bowl? No, but at least Carson Wentz has that opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And Carson Wentz is probably more on the uphill. It's just like we can't judge Dak because he's still growing. Same with Carson Wentz, he's still growing, even though I do not like his team. But we cannot take away from his talent. He's more talented, but he probably turns a cold shoulder to his teammates and he doesn't have the leadership. But then somebody else is just going to come in and be the leader. That's what it's going to take. It's probably going to be like a wide receiver or, even a defensive player like Malcolm Jenkins, he'll probably be the leader. I mean, not Malcolm Jenkins. Whoever else is left on that damn team will be the leader. I mean, somebody else will have to step up and be the leader because everybody can't be a leader. I mean, that's not in everybody's gene.
That is true.
That's not in everybody. So I would definitely take Wentz over Foles, only because Foles is, he's on the decline.
So basically, you feel like Foles is peaked.
Yeah. I mean, is he ever going to get another Super Bowl? Is he gonna?
But we don't know that. I feel what you're saying from the outside.
What, with the Bears?
Wow.
Oh, I'm just asking.
I mean, them Bears. You
got me. You got me on that
85, them Bears.
You got me on. I'll give you that one. You got me on that one.
Carson Wentz, they still could build a team around him. They still got time.
Yeah.
True story. I'll give you that one.
I hate to say she must have something decent. I know.
So who do you think are they our number one competition in the division this year?
She probably say the Eagles, huh?
No, I wouldn't say the Eagles because the Eagles don't have any wide receivers. I don't know why people say that the Eagles are going to be so good because who do they have? Who is the star power they have, or who is the one standout player besides Zach Ertz? And everybody's going to double team Zach Ertz. So who is he going to be throwing to? Their rookie, or like who else would be out there? Anyways, so I don't think the Eagles. Now, what's crazy is I kind of think the Redskins are going to be really good because the Redskins drafted defense like crazy. And the fact that they're going to have what's his name? Who's the second pick? Chase Young. Then they're going to have the other defensive crazy person.
Montez Sweat.
I forget his name. Yes, they're going to have him on the other side. Exactly. They're going to have Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to have a lot of defense. Dwayne Haskins is going to come along. They count him out because he is a black quarterback. And like they do all the black quarterbacks when they come in, they try to say that they're nothing. And I'm sure he's going to prove them wrong this year, and he'll probably be good. So I think the Redskins, they might be pretty good. I mean, defensively, we know they're going to be good. There's no way.
She's speaking facts over here with that. You know.
Yeah, she's speaking facts. Because when we had Brian Broaddus on last night, he said the same thing. He said, "Watch out for Washington," and they got a new coach, and I think Ron Rivera. He's going to be good for the Redskins.
Super Bowl, exactly.
Yeah.
He has another black quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, kind of like Cam Newton. Maybe he's big. He lost a little weight, so he's probably going to be, kind of the same as they have Cam. And then they have a good backup quarterback just in case they want to, interchange the two and let him learn.
Yeah.
But they got pieces, unfortunately.
Yeah, Haskins' game could be better, though.
Nothing good will happen to them.
Until they do what happened now?
I said until they change their name, nothing good will happen to them.
Well, so since you said and broke that down, that was really good. What's your scouting report on those Giants then?
I mean, the Giants, we're going to know every Giants play because they're going to be ran by Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett is your offensive coordinator. I know all of his plays, and I'm just a fan. So I can only imagine once they watch film what the defense is going to be. I don't know what they were thinking, and maybe he thinks he's going to know our plays, but we have a new coach. So you see what I'm saying? So I feel like we're going to know their plays. They have Saquon Barkley, but they're going to put too much pressure on him because they don't really have wide receivers either. They have a couple tight ends that are good, but as far as wide receivers or somebody who can go down the field or, as they say, take the top off, they don't have anybody like that. And they traded Odell.
Yeah.
So who do they have out there that's going to be like somebody you have to double? They don't even have anybody you have to double. I mean, maybe Saquon, and then they're just going to stack the box on Saquon like they've been doing.
Logically speaking, yeah.
Draft, they didn't try to get anybody. So,
I mean,
sorry, Giants. It's another hard year.
That's a real deal stuff, then. Good grief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to Bree over here.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna take some notes and I'm gonna utilize this on my show. You know what I mean?
She said the defensive line was gonna be good.
Copyright. I'm gonna take all of that
there.
stuff.
Yeah, go ahead and take all that.
I'll put your name in the corner somewhere. I say,
okay.
According to Bree, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So let me ask you. I'm gonna just ask you a couple more questions from my end, Bree. Who's a player that I'm gonna go offense and defense. Okay. Who's a player on offense that you think is really going to explode this year? And who on defense do you think is really going to stand out? One person per position.
Just from the Cowboys or every?
Yep, just from
everybody?
the Cowboys, offense, defense.
Oh, well then, come on. This is like a no-brainer.
No, it ain't no brainer.
Only is open.
Okay, so obviously, I think that Michael Gallup is going to be the explosion because all the attention is going to go to Amari Cooper. And then, I mean, of course, we're going to have CeeDee Lamb back there. He's going to get a lot. But Michael Gallup, he's always with the long ball. Like, so all his stuff is really deep routes. And most of his stuff have a possibility of being a touchdown. It's hardly ever where he's just running for 10 yards or anything like that. So I feel like he's going to be the big difference maker. Amari Cooper's going to take all the attention. And then we'll have CeeDee Lamb on the slant routes, which is going to bring everybody down. And then Michael Gallup's going to be one-on-one majority of the time, I feel like. And people still sleep on him. The fact that they kept leaving him out of every poster they made lets you know that people still sleep on him.
Yes.
And only us as Cowboys fans have really noticed his growth. And if that's the case, he should be thrilled because you want to be the sleeper. And then they keep doubling Amari, and then you're going to be open all the time. So I definitely feel like Michael Gallup, this is his year. And then defense, I mean,
take your time.
Defensively, I would say Jaylon Smith because
why Jaylon? Because he's been a little bit ridiculed.
Because people just need something to talk about. When you're losing, people need a reason to lose. Like it won't get through their head.
I'm gonna challenge you on this, Bree, because I'm gonna challenge you on this. So
I think that Leighton Vander Esch is still going to be coming off of his injury, so Jaylon Smith is going to be picking up all the slack for him. And like you said, people have been ridiculing him, and he's probably been taking that very seriously and really training during the off season. He already got his money, so he really doesn't have to think about getting your money. When you think about getting your money, that's like all you're thinking about, and you have the most amazing season ever, which he did. And once he got his money, things fell off because sometimes you become a little complacent. But then y'all talked about him like a dog, so he's going to be out there. Like I said, he's going to be motivated to prove everybody wrong, and he's going to be picking up other people's slack. And the fact that our defensive line is going to be good, but they're not going to be so good where people still aren't going to be running up the middle, because that has been like our biggest flaw is our lack of, everybody running up the middle on us, no defensive tackles. We did get some defensive tackles, but still, I feel like Jaylon Smith's going to make big noise. And you tell me why you think he's not.
Well, the reason why I'm not saying he's not going to make big noise. I'm just been saying the last couple of years he's been kind of Hollywood. And man, I'm not hating on Jaylon Smith. I love the way he plays, bounce back from the injury, all that good stuff. But a lot of times, when we had brought us and other people said that he was playing a lot more hero ball,
right,
doing a lot more of his own thing. And there was just a lot of times last year where it was all more about him, it seemed, than it was more about the team, and it was about everything else. So my thing is and I feel you with the Vander Esch thing, because we don't know about the hit. We know about the neck and it's a injury, but I had a guy named Bobby Belt who had an interview with him, and I talked to Patrick Walker as well. And they said that, they talked to a lot of different other people saying that, it's not going to be an issue with that. So I think the biggest thing on my end, do we go out low? I don't know.
No.
Okay. No, the biggest thing so the biggest thing on my end is I would rather see Vander Esch move over, because I think Jaylon Smith is more of an instinctive player. Okay. I think he's more of a player that you can rush, and because he's been really good at his first few years. Okay. And I think if Vander Esch comes back good with that neck, I think Vander Esch is a guy that I really think can take a hold of that defense, because the only thing that really stopped Vander Esch, to me, in my opinion, was the neck. Yeah. Okay.
But that's the big thing.
Just the neck. It is. It is.
Just the neck.
It is. I'm not.
Neck bone connected to the
connected to everything.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I'm gonna go off the kid a little bit. The doctors are saying he's good, but when I really hear his passion about I'm good, I haven't felt this good since even when my college days when I had this thing. So I'm gonna rely on that. But I feel like Vander Esch is gonna be more the guy that I really want to see, because you get Van Der Esch back fully healthy the way you want, I think he's going to be a monster in this defense with these new guys. I really think he is. I think you should move Jaylon to another position as far as like outside and make him more of a rusher, and have Van Der Esch making the calls, because I just think he'll be more of a like what am I talking about? He'll be more of the Brian Urlacher type, in my opinion.
But do you think he gets the same respect that Jaylon Smith gets?
I think he does.
I think so.
I think he does.
I mean, not as in a locker room commanding everyone in the locker room.
I think he does.
He seems more timid to me, but maybe not.
We'll
when
find out
when
about
it comes
that.
time to hype everybody up, I mean, from just what, from me seeing the games and stuff, but when it comes to hype everybody up and who people listen to, it does seem like it's mostly Jaylon Smith. And then maybe he did get Hollywood, but like I say, that's the roller coaster everybody goes on. You got to get your money. You got to be Hollywood for a year or two. Take it off. Finesse
he
the
got
system.
his paper and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And now this year is a comeback year where you take things seriously because you realize, all right, my money's good and I've had fun. But yeah, I love Leighton Vander Esch. If he comes back, that's great.
I have a funny feeling that it's going to be, and I'm not saying it because his last name is Lawrence, but I have a funny feeling that D-Law will be that guy. This year, last year around this time, he wasn't lifting nobody's weight. He wasn't working out, doing calisthenics and moving stuff around. He was going through that rehab situation. And for him to get 5 sacks out of the whim, I think that this year, D-Law will step it right back up and get you your double-digit sacks. Of course, I think that McCoy will win his one-on-ones inside, and the Dontari Poe, he's going to eat. He's going to be like, yeah, I want all of that food, so I'm going to eat. I'm going to push that pocket back. And I agree with you, Bree, on the Michael Gallup, because he is the silent assassin next to Amari Cooper. I think that those two wide receivers being silent, not being all in the face of the opposition or not doing all of the talking and showboating, I think that those two brothers there is going to be medieval. That's what I feel.
Yes. I mean, I hope they all do good. I hate y'all made me pick.
We on the show. We all want them to do good, so I just had to throw a pick out there. But I feel you with the D-Law. I made a video about D-Law. I'm tired of people talking trash about him. I get it, the hot boys, and it's almost like people hate they love when you talking when we winning. But if you ain't winning, then, people don't want you to say anything. You feel me? But if that's your game, it don't matter if they win or losing. That's just who you are. And I feel like D-Law is that type of player, that he gets everybody motivated with his talk. He gets everybody pumped up like you was talking about with Jaylon Smith. I think that's what D-Law does. And I think it takes the defense to another level when D-Law is out there leading it and running it. And because he's a monster. I mean, he might not be the super athletic guy. I think his hand fighting, his technique is
it's the real deal
in the business. And I believe with the new staff as well, it's going to bring him to another, because we got to understand they signed us to that contract, but they have it out. So if within a couple of years, when he turns 30 years old, if he's not producing, they can cut and move on. So I think this is his time to really show, because I was saying that if he doesn't have a really good year this year, that's when I think they'll start looking at that salary cap thing with D-Law, because that's just what happens when you turn 29, 30 in the league.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, so parting words here, Big Game James. Any other thoughts you have for Bree and her information out there that you want to put out there?
Well, first of all, I just want to tell you thank you. When I hit you up, you came right through. We had great chit chat and talk, and I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate your knowledge, man. You I'm gonna keep it real. A couple things I was like, okay, you surprised me on. I wasn't, I'm not trying to hate or anything, but you did kind of surprise me. I'm just keeping it all the way real. So I really appreciate your knowledge. I love your personality. You're a very nice lady, and I'm just glad you came here and shot us some time, and I appreciate that. And make sure that before you leave that you tell everybody where they can find you and all that good stuff. But I just appreciate you taking out your time to come on the show and talk some good football, and hopefully we can do this again and coming on the show maybe during the season. You got your podcast. We can do some Breeze on, so we can analyze the game right now. You know what I mean? So I just appreciate that. And maybe we're definitely going to do it. We're definitely going to do the football thing, and volleyball's coming. So don't talk that trash no more. I'm going to get you in volleyball. I'm going to spike the ball in your head, just so you know. Yeah. But all the other good stuff, Love you and appreciate you.
That's good
No,
stuff.
thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. I really enjoyed talking football with people who actually know what they're talking about. You know how y'all men don't know anything.
See, there you go. See, she's throwing that jab at us.
We was going to end good, and there comes the parting shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
make
just
sure.
kidding.
I'm gonna make sure when I get that volleyball. I'm
I
gonna make sure.
I love talking football, so this is good. So and thank you guys for reaching out and just giving me another opportunity to tell people my podcast. I'm gonna make a new podcast and I'm gonna start doing video just like this because it would be fun. But my website is biggerbetterpod.com, and that's Bigger and Better Podcast. And it's also on Apple, so you can listen to it on Apple. And then you can just follow me on Instagram or on Twitter. I talk a little bit on there, but I don't feel like people who probably follow me on those social networks probably get my real personality. So listen to the podcast if you really want to hear what I have to say. And my social media. Oh, it's Brianna Bette. So Briana and then Bette. So that's Twitter and Instagram.
Well, we definitely, once the show is over, we're going to retweet the show and everything so we can give you some more love. So hopefully you can add some more followers. Not saying we're anybody, but you know what I'm saying? Just saying hopefully we can add some more followers. And
some Cowboys Nation followers.
Cowboys
Nation
followers. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, because I want to get more followers kind of like that, in that kind of network, in that space.
For sure.
But this has been fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I did too. It was a wonderful time with you, and especially your football acumen. That stuff right there. I was like, wow. I just hushed. I just sat back and just chilled and let you go back and forth with Big Gabe James. Because
I
love it. I love it.
I'll do that.
I love it.
I'll do that.
He loves it.
And guess what?
I'm competitive.
I don't like competition. I love it. So when you called me out, I said, okay, all right. We're going to see you, especially out there on the flag team. Maybe you're going to have to go onto the opposing team. You can't be on my team.
You ain't playing on our team, so you just
If it's just flag football, then, I guess I'll just be on the O-line or something.
O-line. O-line for your mind.
So I could just be blocking, blocking people.
Do some with them nails, too, now.
Yeah,
that's for the blocking.
We got the
I can do a lot. You can do a lot with nails. I play sports. I type.
So you could play volleyball with them nails?
I used to play volleyball with my fake nails on.
Oh, wow.
Because that's how you look cute. You might break it and then you're going to be injured, but it's the risk.
They said Brianna is one of a kind. They got some good love and adulations for you over here in the chat box.
Oh, good. I can't see the chat box, y'all, so if y'all was talking shit, there
was a lot of shit talking in here, buddy. There was a lot of, you can best believe there was a lot of shit talking in this one, okay?
Yeah, you're going Donkey Kong up in there, so we're going to shoot this over there to your gram page, so you'll see little snippets of this throughout, because we everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, and we probably see this episode on MySpace. Who knows? The nation is everywhere.
Ooh, MySpace.
That's all the time that we have for right now. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, follow Brianna page on Instagram. Trust me, you will not like it. You will love it. You will absolutely love it. And look at she was at the edge of she's like, what did he say?
Hey, but not even that. But I just want to tell the fellas before you leave. Hey, just because you see the Instagram, don't judge a book by its cover. Okay. Because a lot of knowledge up in there. Don't judge the book by the cover, man. He knows some football. You feel me?
I know. I know people think I'm like a IG girl. That's what they probably would say. But no, don't judge a book by its cover. I know football and any sports up and down. Boxing too. We should talk boxing.
Wow.
Oh, we can talk boxing.
Oh, my goodness. We went all this time, but we didn't talk about boxing.
Okay, for real. Okay, well, you can't leave yet. Can you give us 5 more minutes in?
Okay.
All right.
Talk to me about Crawford and Noah. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say, Spence. I'm waiting on the Crawford-Spence fight, but I still have. Spence did get into a car accident, so we haven't seen him off of that, and he doesn't want to take like a tune-up fight or anything. He just wants to jump right into the fight. But we're probably never going to see a Spence Crawford fight only because both of their managers get into so much. We'll probably end up seeing like a Manny Pacquiao versus
Please, Lord,
Crawford.
no.
It'll probably be Manny Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford or something to that matter. Because I don't see.
Damn.
I mean, I do. We all want to see Spence versus Crawford, but I want to take a warm-up fight just in case he can't take hits as he once could. He was in a car accident, but. I mean, I love boxing. Like literally.
What's your favorite division?
I could watch boxing all. I mean, I like the heavyweight division. Heavyweight division is good right now.
Mm-hmm.
A featherweight division. I like featherweights. I also like middleweight. I mean, I literally.
You just like it all. You just like to watch it all.
Exactly. Light heavyweight. I've seen good fights in pretty much everything. I mean, but lately I've been just focused on heavyweights because. I mean, I love AJ, and then Wilder, and then we have Fury. And I was one of those people who was telling people that Wilder wasn't as good as he thought he was, because I thought AJ could knock out Wilder, and because of the style matchup. And I was telling people he just like if he has to box, then it's not going to work out. But nobody believed me, and then Fury pretty much exposed that and really ruined a fight that everybody wanted to see. I mean, we might still want to see it, right? I think I still want to see it. No, I would still want to see Wilder versus AJ. I would still see that. Because I just want to see who will win. Exactly. Yeah, I want to see who will win.
What's your thoughts on Mike Tyson?
Style. Well, yeah.
His
Tyson
comeback.
Coming back.
Well, it depends on who he's coming back against. I heard that he was maybe trying to fight Evander Holyfield for the third time or something like that. That would be good. I would like that because you're never too old to fight. Old people fight every day. You're never too old to fight. That's one thing. You know what I'm saying? You see old people in the street boxing. You're never too old to take a punch or give a punch. That's one sport. I feel like even no matter if they're the same age or around the same age, why not? And they're both actually training. They both look good. So I think they're going to do it for charity.
Who you got?
Who you got?
Who you put your money on?
I have Tyson.
You better have Tyson.
I have Tyson because he has like you could tell he has a clear mind. That's what slowed him down before when he was losing. He did not have a clear mind. It was all mental for him. And so now that he has that, I mean, and obviously, have y'all seen his highlight video?
Oh my God!
I mean,
I made a I made a post. I said, Bree, if they gave you, I think I said like 500,000. I don't know what the number was, or 50,000, something like that. Would you go a full round with them? That's 3 minutes. Would you go a full round?
50,000. I hope not.
I said 500. I think. You know what I'm saying?
You're not gonna make it a full minute. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if you don't have anything to stop him from hitting you, then you're not gonna make it. Exactly.
What if you do the Mayweather style? What if you do the Mayweather? You hit.
But that's the thing. You have to stand still to hit.
Oh wow!
And you see how fast his punches are coming?
They coming.
They're coming. He looks faster than like when later than his career. Because back then he was like, I guess he was on drugs or maybe,
Yeah,
but now you could tell. You could tell.
My goodness, man.
But yeah, I love boxing.
Man, we gonna have to start it. Man, we.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm more of the old school breed. Like I kind of faded away from boxing. I like the I grew up around the Hagler, Hearns, Aaron Pryor. Sweet Pea Whitaker, rest in peace. I grew up around those type of guys. So I always like middleweights. Heavyweights was cool, but I always liked the middleweights because it was like type of my type of thing. I mean, I box as well, but I'm not like no professional. My cousin has his own boxing gym, and I started boxing. And one thing I did notice, Bree, I really got more into boxing when I actually did it, because I had this when I looked from the outside in, I would be like, man, it's like the 5th round. How come ain't nobody throwing no punches? You know what I'm saying? Because I guess I was just ignorant to it. But once you get your butt in the ring and once you actually train for boxing, it's a whole different animal. You feel me? That 3 minutes is a long ass 3 minutes. For real, it feels like an hour. You got to get them.
I was taking this UFC class, and it was 5 minutes. I was like, I'll never come back here.
Man, that 5 minutes felt like an hour, did it?
An hour. Once them legs go, it's over with.
Ooh, I'm like, and the fact that people have to defend themselves.
Yes.
Once you're tired, and once you get tired, it's hard to defend yourself.
Hard to keep them arms up and covering that head.
All right, what about the Canelo Triple G? Do y'all still want to see the third fight?
Yes, I definitely want to see
who you got, James, on the Canelo Triple?
Who do you think won the first two, though? First of all, before I hang up.
I like Triple G. If I didn't get to see the last one, I'm gonna be honest with you, so don't let me get on.
Look at her. She like.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not.
I want to know what she gonna say with the Canelo.
I want to see Triple G win this next one.
Right, Triple G. I feel like Triple G got cheated, so I definitely wanted to see him win this one. But the only way he's gonna win is if he knocks Canelo out. Otherwise, they will not let him win because that's their cash cow, Can't. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. He cannot. But also, Canelo waited until Triple G gets older and older, thinking that he'll lose his power. But hopefully, he'll have like that old man strength because it kicks in. So
they don't say that one more time. Old man strength is strong.
Yes, I once was. So my major was psychology. I was once working at this psychiatric hospital, and this old man, he was like 89, and he slapped me, and it was like the hardest slap
he slapped
ever.
You?
Yeah, because they're like, well, they're not really mental. It's a mental health institution.
Right.
So yeah, so he slapped me, and it was the hardest slap ever. And you would have never thought it because he was just like so little, like skin and bones, like so little, not even any meat. But he slapped me hard as hell. Yep, old man strength.
They say two type of people. I'm from Mississippi, so I know this. You don't want to fight.
What part of Mississippi?
Natchez, Mississippi, a small town. Everybody know you by your first and last name. You heard of Natchez?
Close to Meridian?
Meridian, yeah, it's down that way, but it's a little bit closer to New Orleans.
Jackson, I know Jackson.
Yeah, it's about 88 miles from Jackson.
Okay.
Shout out Jackson State.
Okay,
that's
COVID.
Leave me alone.
You got that COVID-19?
COVID. Watch, you gonna be start saying it. COVID.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Do you have that COVID?
You got to go
vid. That COVID?
Yes, indeed, man. But I can't wait. The old folks say you don't want to fight a person that throws shingles up all day and lift that sheetrock. That's that old man strength, Yeah, when you building those type of stuff, man, you got to be old and you got to be wise.
Like I said, my son, my youngest son, he always running his mouth, always talking that trash. Every time I see him, yeah, I got you, Dad. I got you, Dad. Then when we wrestle, dog, how come you always getting folded up, though? You know what I'm saying? You always got that, always talking all that trash, but every time I get my hands on you, I fold you up. So I don't want to hear all that noise, man. And I got my little young homie in the feed. I want you to come on out there too, little young homie. Come on out there to Texas because you've been talking all that trash. I'm going to get you, little man, too, Zay.
Yes, indeed. Bree, man, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. We had a great time, wonderful time, beautiful time. And I can't wait to talk to you again. Big Game James, my name is Law Nation. And Bree, tell them again where they can follow you and find you again.
Brianna Bette. So that's Brianna, Briana, Bette, Bette. And my website, biggerandbetterpod.com.
There we go. Salute, Nation. We out. About 2 minutes, 1 more minute, and we can get out of here. Appreciate everybody. Hit that like button, share this content.
Right. You can still donate.